Morning, folks. Up Northern California today. We're gonna go check some cattle on the side of this reservoir here. And if we see any tracks headed out the other side of it, we're gonna see how far they go and get around them. Maybe right up another canyon, see if we see some tracks up that, get around those. Try and bring everything back down to it here. I haven't decided if Ollie's going or not. I don't think he's quite as fresh as he thinks he is. He's been working the last few days with me. Got Mr. Luke here today. Figured he would enjoy a nice day outside. Shouldn't be a terribly hard day, but I'm not gonna say it won't be. How are you this morning, Mustang? Pretty good. Well, you a happy dog? Yeah, you a happy dog? Perfect. Close these doors. What is that? Moisture got that grass softened up pretty good. Okay, come on, Bubba. Let's go over here. Get my lunch, put in my saddlebags. Anyways, I'm gonna throw this in my saddlebag. I've got, you guys have seen it before, but I just got a pant leg saddlebag. Don't need nothing fancy. Got some medicine with me. The last week has been the first couple nights that have gotten pretty chilly up here, so it dang sure could have started some pneumonia in some of these real young calves. These are fall calves. It's the middle of September, so might have some pneumonia to deal with. We're gonna take a look, see what we see. Like I said, not sure if I'm gonna take him or not. You know, if it's just an easy day around the reservoir right here, he'd be all right, but gosh, I really don't want to take him and have it end up being a long day where I got to go way past that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyways, I'll see you guys once we get to going here. Alright, well, Ollie talked me into letting him go. I hope I don't regret that. He's probably going to be pretty sore tomorrow, being the old man that he is, but I'll get him some pain pills tomorrow if I have to. Probably tonight too. By the time we get home, I imagine he's going to be a little bit stoved up, but it should be an easy day. Well, I mean, we're not setting out to push anything per se, just check on them. So, like I said, hopefully we'll just be able to go easy, mill around kinda, not have to use him. If anything, if we go to Dr. One, we'll just tell him to lay down. Pretty reservoir. It was real pretty before it burned. I think it burned about 5 years ago. So they were able to save the couple structures that are around here and stuff, but it's kind of interesting. There's quite a bit more feed in the burn than where it didn't burn, which is good because a lot of this country's overgrown like that. That's country right there that didn't burn, and you can see how many trees are there. I'm sure you guys will notice how much feed there is where it did burn. So, part of nature's cycle. The burn would have been a lot worse if this country wasn't grazed. It could use a little bit of logging in those real thick trees, but take a win where you can get it, I suppose. All these trees, there used to be a couple spotted trees out through here. Not a lot right through here, but enough. But I see they're all down in slash piles now. I don't know Maybe they burned or maybe they didn't. Maybe they cut them down after the fact or during the fact, or who knows. I wasn't here. So I've got some cattle working the side hill over there. Nice calm morning. It's cool. It's probably about 55, 60 degrees out. So anyways, I'll see you guys in a bit. Whoever come and cut all these slash piles down, cut only the juniper trees. And that is awesome. Juniper trees are just a noxious weed. They're where the Pajuelo tick lives that causes foothills abortion. They use a ton of water. And they're not really good for anything. Firewood maybe, but they're hard on a chainsaw chain. Kind of just riding up this hill here. If memory serves correctly, there's a gate right up here, and it's an easier gate to open than that gate was right down there at the cattle guard. Yeah, there's the gate right there. So just thought I'd point that out. I noticed it's only the juniper trees, which is just good because they're just a nasty thing anyways. What do you think, old man? You know, I got old man and old man. I guess that makes me an old man. Okay, so I've got some cow tracks here, headed up to this other higher reservoir. So we're gonna keep walking up here and see how high these tracks go. Maybe we'll make it all the way up that reservoir, or maybe we won't. Either way. This Quakey Grove burned. It's kind of a bummer. There was a lot of really cool carvings in the Quakeys along the road here, but nature's renewing itself. See, these young Quakeys are doing really good, it looks like. Well, they should start turning colors here any week now. It shouldn't be that long. It's starting to get chilly, so The days are still pretty nice. There's a little cold front moving in right now, but it's been pretty warm, so it's not surprising they're not changing, but they'll start before long. We're gonna just keep traveling up this little trail with this 2-track. See what we see when we get there. So we're still following some cow tracks. They're not super fresh, but they're fresh enough. We're probably 80% of the way up it to the little reservoir up here. I have noticed some horse tracks, but they're probably about the same age as the cow tracks, but that still puts them at probably 2 weeks old. We might be chasing ghosts up here. Whoever was up here on a horse might have pushed them down already, but there are cow tracks going both ways, so there might still be something up here that we need to bring down. Back down to that lower reservoir. But we're gonna, there's some fresh track there, but it might be the freshest track on this road is from a 4-wheeler. Sorry about that, battery died. The freshest tracks on this road are a 4-wheeler, but there are some cow tracks that are worth following, so that's what we're doing. He's having a good time. Luke's a happy horse. So we'll see you guys when we get up there. Here we are at the top reservoir. I'm gonna go have a ride around it and have a look-see and stop and give Luke a break here for a little minute and kind of listen, see if we hear anything making cow noises. Got the reservoir to ourselves, it looks like. Gonna get you a drink, Luke. Get you some lunch. Nice clear water. You see down there quite a ways. I'm happy this spot didn't burn up here. It's been several years since I was up here. In fact, I think the last time I was up here was would have been October of 2015, and my wife and I came up here. Well, we came to that lower reservoir looking for remnant cattle, and we found 2 bulls, and we went to put bulls in a set of corrals that they burnt in the fire, but one of them took off and she went to get ahead of it, and her horse stepped in a badger hole and flipped over forward on her. And when I got to her, the first thing she said to me is, "I can't feel my legs." And I'm thinking, oh no, this is one of those moments that changes your life. So I took my jacket off of her, or took my jacket off and covered her up and just told her to lay there and be calm and take a deep breath and be still. And she laid there for a while, and I sat there with her, and she says, "Okay, I can feel my legs now." She says, "Everything else hurts, but my legs don't, and that's why I thought I couldn't feel them." Well, she ended up being fine, and the horse ended up being fine, and we dropped those 2 bulls for the time being and decided to ride up here and check and see what was up here. And By the time we got up here, it was spitting big old fat snowflakes on us, and had a little bit of a bite to eat, and we were going to go check some more country, but she kind of started shaking, and I think she was going into a little bit of shock, and I decided that was enough for the day, so we rode down, and those, if I remember right, those bulls went into the corral pretty easy after that, and maybe I come up the next day and got them or something, but that was pretty scary. That was the last time I was up here. You can see some fish boiling out there. Wish I had a fishing pole right now. This little reservoir's got some pretty good sized brook trout in it that are pretty good eating. Wouldn't mind having me some. Build me a little fire and have me some fresh lunch. I don't see no cows. I'm gonna snake around that way and maybe ride all the way around the reservoir. Maybe I won't. We'll see what we see. So, what do you think? Sunshine sure feels good. That overcast was pretty chilly. Anyways, I'm gonna go up the camp spot right here, find me a sunny stump to sit on and have me a little snack and let Luke take a break. So, we'll see you guys after a snack. All right. Luke's getting him a snack. We're gonna make us a little bit of something warm to eat here. Today's beef ravioli and meat sauce. Oh, really? This thing's kind of be a pain to open sometimes. For those of you that never had an MRE, I'll bring you along for the ride. This is our beef raviolis, recovery ball, or salted caramel marshmallow crisp. Sounds pretty tasty. Pack of M&Ms, fruit punch beverage powder, cheese spread, breadsticks. This is your heater and a spoon. And then you got your condiments. You got some toilet paper, a moist towelette, some salt, some matches, cinnamon gum. Let's heat these raviolis up. To do this, you tear open your heater bag. And it opens up like so. Pretty simple. Then you fill it to right there with water. I'm gonna walk down to the lake and get some water. Be right back. Just a touch more. You really don't want to overfill them, but you want to have just a hair more water than what's in the line. Okay, come on, Mustang. Go back up here to our spot. Come on. You can graze up here. There's plenty of munchins. Okay. We're going to kind of close it right here. We're going to get these heater deals, chemical deals, good and wet. And then just take our meal. Put it right inside there. fold it over. Put it in the cardboard. And then lean it up against a rock or something. In the meantime, I'm gonna have dessert first here. I'm gonna try this old marshmallow crisp. See how it is. Salted caramel marshmallow crisp. I've never had this one before. Keep that like so. Anyways, look at that. I'm gonna eat this and catch you guys when the main course is ready. So our meal is still heating up. Just kind of knead it around a little bit. Keep it moving. Luke's pretty happy right now. I haven't heard any cattle bawling or moving or anything like that. I think that everything must be down here, and the tracks we've seen were the last guy that was up here bringing them down. But like I said, it's worth checking. It didn't take that long to come up here and check, but it's good to know it's clean. If I don't hear or see any cattle bawl or move at all, I won't bother riding around the reservoir here. I'll just head down and go check the next spot. But still waiting for snack to warm up the rest of the way. Just kind of enjoying the quiet. Alright, well, I think it's warm enough. These things will get plumb hot. Just not warm enough to eat. Then you just pull your meal out. You see it steaming. That heater's hot, too hot to hold on to. Meal's good and warm. So, squeeze it down on the bottom of the package. Tear open your package like so, and it tastes better than it looks. Keep your heater vented for a while so it doesn't make that thing blow up and pop. Enjoy your lunch. Like Chef Boyardee. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this here and pack my trash up, and if I don't see no sign of cattle, move on to the next spot. So I thought I heard a big twig break up here right as I was finishing up eating my snack. I rode up here. I still haven't seen any fresh cow track, like fresh, so I think we're clean up here, but I did see something pretty cool. An old Quakey was standing there in 1943, right during the middle of World War II. Huh. Pretty cool. I forgot about this little meadow and the waterfall up there. I'm gonna ride up this little meadow. If there's no fresh sign here, I'm gonna turn around. Okay, somebody's kids made a really good fort up here. Look at that. I have a feeling I know who. But I'm not gonna name them on YouTube. Man, they did a pretty good job on that. A little bit of firewood stacked up right here. Fire pit outside. Yep. All right, well, it's clean up here. I'm gonna head down the hill back towards the bigger reservoir and then go check some other part of the country. I'm gonna try and save some battery. It's my last one on the camera because one of them decided not to work at all. So I'll see you guys when we get down there. All right, so can't see it because this little knob is in the way, but you follow this valley along like so, you end up over there. There's a reservoir where we started at. We went up on the other side of the tallest mountain. There is the second reservoir we visited. And that's the last time I talked to you guys, and I rimmed around and ended up here. I can overlook these meadows here. I can see cattle in them. I know the camera can't see them, but I can see cattle in them. So I got to zigzag down quite a ways because I can't cross where this comes down. It's way too steep. You can see the straight rock cliff right there. So I got to zigzag clear back and get to the far end of those meadows up there, almost as far as you can see. Then take all those cattle and take them back to the first reservoir. And it's 1 o'clock already. So I got some riding to do. Camera's starting to run low on battery, but I'll involve you guys for as much as I can. So we'll see you there. So in an attempt to save some time, I'm just gonna fall straight off this face, or as straight off as I can. It's pretty steep. The camera don't do it justice, but you just gotta give the old Mustang his head and let him run the Jake brake down it. Make sure you don't gain too much speed. But that little road down there is the road I need to be on to get where I need to go. And that's a cliff, so we ain't gonna be able to go down that. Looks like it ends right here. This is a little hairy. Easy Mustang. He thinks he's going to the trailer, so he wants to really go. Kind of like an old mule. You point him home and he picks up a gear. Let's see, go right here, Mustang, go straight down. But anyways, that's gonna cut a whole bunch of time off. We'll make it down there in one piece. And if we don't, we might get a helicopter ride, or I don't know, maybe meet Jesus. I'm excited to meet him, excited to be in his presence, but don't necessarily think it needs to be today, but you know. Rocks rolling down the hill. That was a good one, Luke. It's still going. Come on, bud. You're doing just fine. Just keep inching down it. You're not turning towards the trailer though, butthead. He's really not that bad about going towards the trailer. But he knows we're at the point in the day where usually if we haven't found cattle, we start heading towards the trailer. But he don't realize that we have found cattle. They're just a couple miles away yet. Don't worry about the bunch grass. So anyways, I'm gonna get down off this hill here and get over to the cattle, and I'll see you guys over there. Another great thing about the old Mustang, he's got autopilot once you put him on a trail. So getting me some lunch ate. Still getting over to those cows. We're almost there. Just meadow starts on the other side of this kind of little hill right here. We were like 3 ridges above that when I told you that we found cows. Came down some pretty steep stuff. Luke did great. Anyways, I'm gonna keep eating my lunch on the go here, and Luke's gonna keep doing Luke. Alright, well, we're here where there should be no cows. And there's lots of cows. I'm gonna go up here, bump these down this way, and the way this meadow's shaped, you gotta make a kind of a goofy circle. Anyways, see you guys when we start that. Okay, so I rode up that way a little bit. I saw a ton of fresh sign, couldn't find any cows up there. It's late enough in the day, I need to get this field gathered. This is the most important thing, get these cows out of here. So I couldn't really do that good of a job of looking with what time constraints I have before it gets dark. Did make me sad. There used to be the remnants of a homestead with a round pen and a buckboard with like the old metal wheels in that corner of this meadow, and I see that the fire erased them and they're nothing but a memory now. That was a bummer. It was pretty cool. I was gonna show it to you guys, but it doesn't exist anymore. Got some antelope moving across the meadow there. All the cows are going that way. These gates were supposed to be shut. I can see one gate shut, and there's a gate right in that very corner. I can't tell if it's shut or not, but I need to figure out how these cows got in here and make sure and close it. So anyways, I'm just gonna ride across the meadow to that corner where I see that other gate and make sure it's shut or shut it, either way, and then go back to the cows. They're all drifting the right way. They get out of this meadow, they have to go to where I want them to go for water, or that direction anyhow, so that's good. I'd like to end up with them at that big reservoir. That's the end plan, but if we just at least get them out of this meadow with a couple more weeks of growing weather that there is for this grass, it can kind of come back a little bit. Like I said, it was supposed to be all shut up so there wasn't no cows. That way the ranch could gather to this later, which would only be a couple weeks from now. But when you have guys that open gates and don't shut them and stuff like that, and hunters, and who knows exactly what happened. Shouldn't point fingers, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'll see you guys when we get back over to the cows. Okay, so this gate into the meadow was open. That gate needs to stay open, that way cattle can travel that way. That's the way they need to go this time of year, but they need to stay out of the meadow if they're here. So we got that shut. I'm gonna assume that was the problem by how much trails there are right here leading in. This is right where that homestead was. There's one post. I think right here is where the buckboard was. Yep, there's some, looks like some suspension parts or something, or the U-bolt deal off the tongue. What else can I remember? Gosh, it's been so long since I was here. I remember I used to be able to see the footing of a house, but it was all wood. It was like the floor is all. Of course, it got burned. I think these were like the cradle a water trough in. There's a piece of metal or something. Some sort of metal. Almost looks like an end of an axle for an old wagon. But it's pretty crazy to think that at one time, yeah, there's the tongue right there, it didn't burn. I didn't see that. Some wire and stuff. Watch out, look. There's a little wall of foundation. There's a piece of that buckboard I was talking about right below my shadow there. Another piece of metal over here. As I was saying, it's pretty crazy to think that at one time somebody lived here, and if you didn't know that even just the remnants I saw was here, that now you wouldn't even look at this as nothing. Somebody with a very astute eye might see that little line in the rocks right there. It might catch their eye, but other than that, maybe it was a part of corrals here. I can't quite remember exactly. If I remember right, the round pen was over on that side by where that single post is out in the middle. Maybe that was the only post left of it. But anyways, it's just, man, everything's temporary down here. Help you make good choices while you're here. Anyways, I'm gonna kind of follow this fence around this high side. I'm gonna have to jog clear back over to that other side to get my cows out the gate that I left open to head in the direction I want to. So I'll see you guys some point along the way. I'm not sure when. There's a little bunch of cows there. We're gonna jump and take down to the cows over there. But I wanted to show you something that's pretty neat. So that homestead was right over there. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but that's the high side of the meadow. All the water runs this way. And if you look right across the face of that hill there, you can see just a line. That was a ditch where they could divert water up at the head of the meadow, bypass part of it, and irrigate down lower in the meadow. What's amazing to me is that was dug by hand or with a horse in some form of a scraper. Oh, I forget what they call them. Something. Oh, I'll think of the name. But yeah, that was done by hand. It just shows like how much work and this, I mean, this ground is rocky. It's not forgiving nice ground to dig in. Somebody put a lot of work into this place at one time. Tough people. Way tough, man. Anyways, I'm gonna get this little group of cows headed that way and we'll see what happens. I just walked across the remnants of an old ditch that went around this side too. You could irrigate this meadow from either side depending how you diverted the water up top. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, girls. Fun's over. Ollie, go right. Easy. Or not. Go right. Go right. Go right. You're not listening, Ollie. Hey, that'll do. Anyways, they're gonna go right the way I need them. I'm gonna find a way across this little, I think right here, Luke. Get out, Ollie. Get out. Take these down and kind of circle back and we'll see you guys over there. Okay, that tallest peak right there is the peak we were on when we seen these cows. We had to backtrack a little bit, fall down that face right across the canyon up, and we went around that way and now we're here. I still need to jog up that way and there's cattle up there, but if I can get these girls started out that gate, I got a feeling that they'll trail out for me. If I can even just get them headed to that corner where I left that gate open for them, will be satisfactory right here. So we'll see here. It's kind of tough ground to walk on. It's not very even. My battery's at 50% and they like to shut off around 30%. So if the story just ends abruptly, I apologize in advance. I'm gonna try and do enough short clips for you guys where you get the rest of the day, but I don't want to miss anything either, so it's a catch-22. If you hear that rattling, that's a bottle of sulfoboluses. We got, these cows should have really young calves on them. starting anyways. Just the very, very beginning of their calving season for some of these cows, not all of them. So, okay, girls, why don't you head up and out that gate, girls? Trail out. I gotta head home tonight. I got about a 3.5 hour drive home, and I'm figuring right now I'm gonna make it to the pickup at 5 o'clock, the ranch at 6 o'clock, pack all my stuff, hopefully leave by 7, hopefully be 10:30 or 11 before I got home. So, left. Skeet him. Okay, we got him moving. All right, well, we got him headed out the gate. We got right about 50 head here. Not 50 of the ones I necessarily was looking for, but 50 total, which is, I mean, it's great. They shouldn't be on here right now because this feed needs to have a chance to recuperate. It should have never been grazed down, but that's besides the point. Point is, there's a couple bunches out here, and I was hoping to find 50 of a certain bunch, and I found about 20 of that certain bunch, but it's all right. They're somewhere. Hey! 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 Go on, girls! Hey! I don't know why cows always want to stand right in the gate. Hey! Shh! Anyways, we're gonna get them lined out here. They can just kind of go that way. They don't got to go an exact certain path, but the terrain will force them to where we need them to be. So, we'll see you guys in a bit. Hey, turn around, dummy. Good choice. Stay with mom. We'll go under the fence. Nice having fences like that, isn't it? So we had a pretty tough time getting some of them baby calves across that little creek. Anybody that knows baby calves knows that wreck. Well, Mustang here got worked pretty good. Kind of don't mind letting him take a breather. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna lead him just a little ways. Loosen his cinch up and lead him a little ways and just get him a little bit of a break. It's gonna do me some good to walk too. So, I wish I had enough battery to film those little baby calves being dumb, but I didn't. Anyways, we're gonna just keep right on this old road. It actually, that doesn't look like it, but actually is an old road. You can see the occasional car part or hubcap or something like that every now and then. And it's on some maps too, I believe. But anyways, we're gonna follow it. We get back to that big reservoir, I'll just start riding through them, a straight line through them, and checking on health on everything as I go by. And if anything showing any signs of pneumonia, I'll give them a shot of dope and make them feel better. So I don't know if I'll see you guys before then or not. If I do, it's happening right now. If I see you up there, here we are. Well, they didn't trail out nice. They're being horrible, ignorant wenches. All I gotta do, follow that road. We've been way down there off the face and back, and mashing rocks, and dogs wore out, horses wore out. I'll be lucky if I get home at midnight. Another day cowboying. Go on, stupid, walk. I'd like to say right over this hill they usually line out or something optimistic like that, but I'm having a hard time finding something optimistic to say about how these bunch of cows travels. Oh well. That's where we rode down earlier today, where it was so steep. And we hit the trail and went that way and got them. The big reservoir's this way. It's after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I might just get him to the next water and quit him. That way I can get off the mountain before it gets dark. It's not like we're locking them in a field or anything like that anyways, so. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a bit. I thought of something optimistic to say. The weather is absolutely gorgeous. It's probably like 65 degrees right now. Nice warm sunshine, but the air's just got a little bit of a crisp to it, so nothing's getting hot. Like, I'm really grateful for that. Really, really grateful for that. Hopefully they'll just go. Anyways, we'll see you guys at the reservoir or somewhere in between. Well, they did kind of start traveling better. I guess they got sick of being thumped on. If we go this rate, the whole time we'd have been there half an hour ago. Cows ain't very smart sometimes. Ollie's hunting shade, he's hot and tired. Luke's played out. Go on, I'm sick of you. Get out of my life. Just kind of been one of those days. Everybody that's pushed cows has them. I was hoping to be at the ranch a half hour ago, but it wasn't in the cards. Oh well. Okay, so they're got like a whole bunch of cows wide, and they're walking that way, and there's some little springs and stuff below them here, so they're on water. And there's some other cows that are hanging out here and stuff, so I'm gonna quit them right there. There's a couple still above me. I'm gonna go find this road that we were on earlier today, and I'm gonna head back towards the big reservoir. I suppose I'll kind of do it behind these girls here. But anyway, I'm basically gonna drop them. This fence here will put these cows right on some water. I mean, it like literally they follow the fence, they'll go to water. All these cows know the country. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, I like to leave them on water, but I don't have to shove them right to where their feet are wet by any means. Well, girls, it's been real and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun because you girls are kind of arrogant. So. Anyways, I'm just gonna follow them down this fence line until I find another gate, poke through it, and I'm gonna walk through all those cattle that were on the reservoir on my way back, and if I find something to doctor, I will make sure and include you guys, and if not, I will see you at the pickup. Alright guys, well, the pickup's just over the hill here. I dropped them there, rode around the reservoir, rode through those baby pairs. Everybody I found looked really good, healthy, alert. It was kind of nice just walking through those young calves like that and just slinking through them and being quiet about it. So, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the ride with me today. It's been a pretty ride. We've covered a lot of territory. Maybe not the biggest circle in the world, but a tough circle because of these rocks and the elevation change. It's been a pleasure. Make sure and check out RebuckNevada.com. Get you a rope, some spur straps, something like that. Check out the description below for the discount code for Transparent Labs. Make sure you're getting enough protein. They offer natural grass-fed whey protein in a couple different forms. Their powder's what I take, 2 scoops a day. It's cleaner than a lot of junk on the market. But anyways, Luke's enjoying things, Ollie's enjoying things. It's been a good day. We'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.